Alright, I've got 80 miles to rant and rave. I am mad. Really, really mad. Mad at my driver manager right now. So, I can't remember what I talked about in the last video that I uploaded. I picked up a load in Ocala of trash paper, delivered it to a paper processing plant to recycle it in Pine Hill, Alabama. I just finished delivering that load, and I'm on my way to Atlanta, Georgia right now. I've been doing a lot of backwoods country bumpkin roads, like no shoulder, windy, up and downhill roads. And then whenever they're not windy up and downhill, it's because I'm in a town, and it's just stoplight after stoplight after stoplight. I think I've had to stop at probably 100 stoplights. I don't think that's much of an exaggeration. That's not why I'm mad. That's just frustrating stuff. That's stuff that happens in trucking, and those are just, the suck. Those are bad loads, annoying loads. These are the type of loads that I wouldn't pick off of a load board unless they paid really well. And if they paid really well, I wouldn't mind so much driving on these janky roads. But I don't get paid extra to do this kind of shit. I get flat rate as a company driver, which is why I do not like flat rate. I would much rather have percentage pay in trucking. So, just a second, I'm going through an intersection. There's a whole bunch of cars, brake lights and stuff. What are the highlights of what happened before I get to what pissed me off? The highlights, I changed my route because I had an extra 24 hours on this load, and the Google reviews on this place said that they were like some kind of union place. They were very strict by the book, and they went by your exact delivery time. They wouldn't take you early. And I had a 3 p.m. Friday appointment. I picked the load up Wednesday morning, and it was only like a 450 mile load, so it was like an 8-9 hour drive. So I could have been there at 3 p.m. Thursday, and it didn't deliver till 3 p.m. Friday. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm not going to drive all the way there just to find out that I can't deliver it early after reading all those Google reviews. So I decided to change my route, stop by a TA, and get my air issue fixed. So that's what I did. Contacted Fuel. They got me a different route, and got the airbag replaced on the tractor. He said that was the only problem. He said I didn't have any brake chamber issues, and I didn't have any other airbag issues. Just the one bad airbag. Also, the license plate light on the trailer wasn't working properly. It was on, but it wasn't illuminating the license plate. You couldn't tell that it was actually on unless you stuck your head underneath it and looked up at it. So I got that light replaced as well. While that night, after I got all that replaced, I woke up sweating. The APU had an error, and it had turned off the air conditioner. The APU was still running, but the air conditioning unit on the APU had stopped. So I power cycled the APU, and it started working again. It was blowing cold air. I was like, all right, fine, problem solved. I'll deal with it. If it happens again, I'll deal with it. I'm going back to sleep. Woke up, I don't know how long later, sweating really bad again. And this time I just turned the fan on, and it was blowing cool air. Went back to sleep, woke up, I don't know how long later, and I was sweating again. This time I got up for good and started watching YouTube videos of what could cause it. They said airflow or low freon. So I checked all the air filters, made sure there wasn't anything blocking any of the vents. I can't check the freon. I don't know how. But in the process of checking all the filters and the vents, I noticed that the air condenser had ice buildup. It was almost a solid block of ice. And I was like, oh crap. And it came back and said the same thing. That's anyway. I think I'm getting the order of this wrong. I forgot how exactly, but I was inspecting to see what the problem was. Oh, there was a noise coming from under the bunk where most of the HVAC is at for the APU. And I was checking to see what was making that noise, and I was going to check the air filters and stuff while I was underneath there. And that's when I noticed the ice buildup, and that's when I checked the YouTube videos. The YouTube videos said that the condenser freezing over was due most likely to either an air blockage, air restriction, or low freon. So I got a little reversed on the order there. So I was like, it recommended just running the fan to thaw it out, which I'd already done. So I just did that again, just ran the fan. Right about that time, it was time to start doing my pre-trip, get headed down the road. And I was thinking, well, I'll research later how to put in Freon, because it's R134A, which I think is the kind that I can put in myself. So I'll see how expensive it is, and if nothing else, I'll just put it in the shop and have them put Freon in. If it's expensive, because I don't want to have to fight for reimbursement. This company doesn't like to pay reimbursement or anything. They don't like to pay anything, really. They even fuck you on the miles that you drive. Even though they pay short miles at a low rate, they still try to fuck you out of those miles. Like, this is a real shithole company. So I'm doing my pre-trip, and in my pre-trip, I get to the APU, and there's some green fluid leaking out of the APU. There's a puddle underneath it. I think it's green. It's hard to tell. The blacktop is black, and the APU itself is black, so it could have been some other color that was just, the light was shining through it, it was reflecting green. I don't know, but it looked green to me, and I don't know of any green fluid in there. The only fluid the shop told me I needed to check on it is the oil, which is a really clear yellow. It's not the same oil that the truck uses. So if it ever gets low on oil, I'm going to have to call the shop and ask them what damn oil to put in there. But it's never, had an issue with oil. So, on my way to... I don't have time to deal with this at that time. So on the way to my delivery, I called Roadside and asked them, where do I get the APU worked on? And they said Thermo King dealers or a terminal. Those are the only two places that I can get it worked on. And he said Thermo King is only 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. And it is, I've got to make my delivery at 3 p.m. And I'm not going to be able to make it to a Thermo King dealer before they close for the week. So I said, so I'm going to have to call my driver manager and get routed to a terminal. And they said, yeah. They said, if you can't get it fixed over the weekend, then hit us up on Monday and we'll get you to a Thermo King dealer on Monday. So I called up my driver manager, told my driver manager, hey, I need to get my APU worked on. Roadside said that I can only get it done at a terminal on the weekend or a Thermo King dealer, but a Thermo King dealer is just Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And they said the nearest terminal to get it worked on was West Memphis. And they said, so I said I need to get routed to the West Memphis terminal. And I said, the APU works, but I don't want to turn it on. It's giving errors, it's freezing up, and it's leaking some fluid. I said, I don't want to turn it on for fear that I will permanently damage the unit. I would prefer not to turn it on. So if you could get me routed to a terminal, that'd be great. And this is kind of a high priority because I can't sleep in this truck without that APU. I can't sleep without air conditioning. It's 90 degrees outside. And he said, okay, let me see what I can do to get you routed to a terminal, basically. Now, the load coordinators already had a load put on me, a pre-plan, which I didn't know about because my driver manager is fucking worthless. It doesn't push the pre-plan to me. It just kind of sets in the shadows. But they had a pre-plan on me to go to Atlanta and then go to Houston. Pick up a load out of Atlanta, our terminal. Somebody dropped a trailer there and then deliver it to Houston. What I'm guessing is that somebody quit or got fired. and I'm having to, or something else happened. I don't know. Something happened to a driver, and I'm having to finish their load for them. They picked up a load, and I'm going to have to go deliver it for them. The reason I suspect that's the case is because it's 1,000 miles on this load. It's like 260 miles deadhead or 270, and then 780 or something, 800 miles loaded. And the delivery window on it is from tonight at midnight. It's all day Saturday, basically. Saturday at 12:01 a.m. until 11:59 p.m. Saturday. So it's going to be very difficult for me to make that delivery window. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to deliver it on time, because I don't have all of my driving hours available for this driving shift. It's going to take me 3 driving shifts to do this. So that is 2 10-hour breaks. And I pretty much have like 32 hours or something like that to deliver it. See, 24 plus it's 5 p.m. 24 plus 7, 31 hours. 31 hours at this point. I have 31 hours to deliver it, and I'm going to need to take a minimum of 2 10-hour breaks. So that leaves me with 11 hours of driving. That math just doesn't fucking compute. So I'm going to drive for 7 more hours right now. Wait a second. Yeah, it's not 11 hours. So I'm going to drive for, I'm going to have about 6 hours left after I make it to the turn. No, I'm not going to have 6 hours left. What the hell am I thinking? I already drove for about 5 hours today, and I'm about to drive for 5 more hours. I'm going to have to stay the night at the Atlanta terminal. Or I'm going to drive like an hour away from there. I'm only going to have about an hour when I get there. And then I'm going to have to take a 10-hour break. And then I'm going to drive for 11. Then I'm going to have to take another 10-hour break. So, I was right the first time. I'm going to be able to drive for about 11 hours on this load before I hit the delivery time. And so that means I can only do about 600 miles on this load, roughly, if I'm lucky, before I'm supposed to deliver it. And it's a 1,200 mile load. So I'm going to be like 12 hours late for this load. That's the reason I suspect that this is like somebody got fired or quit, something happened, because they're giving this load to me and I can't deliver it on time. So I don't know what the fuck happened on this load, but I can't deliver it on time. And I'm pissed off about my what my manager did on this. I can't remember if I said it already. He did not route me to a terminal. I talked to him about it, told him I needed to get to a terminal to get this fixed, told him it was high priority, told him I can't sleep in this damn truck without an APU. He said he would get the load coordinators and see about getting me to the West Memphis terminal, and he'd get back to me. Like 4 hours goes by, and he hasn't gotten back to me. I'm getting unloaded at this place, and I messaged him and I said, what's the plan on getting me to a terminal? And he said, I'm just leaving you on that load. Really? So he didn't bother getting back to me like he said he would. And he just basically told me to go fuck myself and to just keep rolling. So I replied back and I said, okay, I'm going to have to run the APU then. So if the APU burns out or it can't keep the truck cool, I'm going to shut this truck down because I can't sleep in this truck without the APU. And I'm not going to drive fatigued. He didn't reply back to that. I'm fucking mad right now. I am so pissed off that they just told me to basically keep fucking rolling. I'm going to have to do like 3 rest periods, with most likely without an APU. What I suspect is going to happen is I'm going to park it. I think I'm going to intentionally park it because I'm going to be really close to out of hours. whenever I get to the Atlanta terminal, and I think I'm just going to stay the night at the Atlanta terminal, and I'm going to run the APU overnight just to see if it fails. That way, if it does fail on me, I'm just going to stay at that terminal. I'm not going to fucking leave the terminal. I'm going to wait until Monday and have them fix it on Monday. And then I'm going to tell them to get me to my house. And then I'm going to call a lease and ask them if they can get me moved over a week or so early, because I am sick and tired of this company bullshit. So fucking mad right now. I hate sweating. And like, oh my god. Like, I've sweat so much in the last couple of days. Sorry about being so negative, but man, I'm mad. And when I was leaving this place, remember this is Backwood Country Roads. When I was leaving that place, I'm about to hit an interstate here in about 40 miles. I think I was doing 100 highway miles before I finally hit an interstate on my way to Atlanta. Well, I was stuck behind another USA truck driver for 40 miles on a 2-lane country road, winding around up and down hills and stuff like that. And this guy he was having issues keeping the truck in his lane. He was having issues keeping the truck on the road. And he was driving scared. He kept hitting the brakes. Like, he almost like ran off the road past, like, a car was coming from the other direction while we were going through a turn, and he was trying so hard to avoid hitting that car that he went so far to the right. Now, this is a no-shoulder road. He went so far to the right that his outside trailer tire was hanging off the road, and his inside tires were on the fog line. And he was going so damn slow. He was going like 15, anywhere from 5 to 15 miles an hour under the speed limit, until we hit a straightaway where somebody could potentially pass, and then he would speed up to like 65. He felt comfortable driving on the straights. Whenever he would get, a lot of visibility in front of him and a nice straight road where somebody could fucking pass, he would speed up to like 65. I was stuck behind this jackass for 40 miles doing that stupid shit. Oh my god, that was so annoying. And the place that I delivered to, that paper place, International Paper, they're a union or something, and they had this, I had to sign 3 or 4 different documents with rules and procedures and stuff, and they threatened me and said that if I basically do anything wrong, that I will be banned from the property for a certain number of hours, or permanently. I think they said 16 hours, 24 hours, or permanently were the 3 time frames that they gave me on the bans. And they had this very exacting procedure of how to do everything, and basically they threatened me that if I deviated from any of that and I did anything wrong, that I'd be banned from the property. Oh, awesome, thanks. So I was out there also sweating my ass off doing all of their procedures and all their crap. Finally made it out of there though. That's about it. That's about enough of my ranting and raving. Let's do the owner-operator update real quick. All right, I think I've already told you that I have the checking account. They're gonna mail my debit card and stuff to me. It's probably already at my house in the mailbox right now. I ordered checks, and those should be sent to me shortly. And what else did I do? Oh, I did a loan application. Now, I called in to get the account set up, and they asked me if I wanted anything else. I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to apply for a loan after the account gets set up. They're like, well, just have somebody call you. I'm like, all right. Well, somebody called me, and the jackass that called me was lazy. He didn't really want to do anything. So he was like, so what questions did you have? And I'm like, well, I didn't really have any questions. They told me that you would tell me stuff. And he was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay. Well, I was just going to fill out the online application, and they told me that it would be better if I talked directly with you, and you would go over the requirements and stuff with me. And he was like, yeah, well, the requirements, you should just do that online app like you wanted to do in the first place, because the requirements are going to change based on, you know, all the stuff you put into that app. Like, all right, then I'll just go ahead and fill out the online app. That was last week. I finally got around to filling out the app while I was sitting there at the TA because I had all that downtime. And at the very beginning of the app, it says, you must meet these requirements to fill out this online app. And one of the requirements is that your business must be at least 2 years old. You must have been in business for at least 2 years. I was like, well, I don't meet that requirement. But it said, if you don't meet these requirements, please call in. We may still be able to help you. So I called that number. Just a second. And I'm back. So I called that number, and they said, well, we'll have one of our loan people call you back. Guess who calls me back? The same lazy fuck that I talked to the first time. Jason Campbell, I think is his name. He's in Del City, Oklahoma. Well, he does the same stupid shit again. Well, why didn't you just fill out the app? And I said, well, at the very top of it said you had to have, your business you had to be a business for 2 years to do an online application. It said to call in if you don't meet those requirements. So I'm calling in. And he said, well, you should just go ahead and fill out the online app. Would it not let you fill it out? And I said, I don't know. It looked like it would let me fill it out. I didn't try because it didn't meet the requirements at the top of the page. He said, well, you should just fill it out anyway and just see what happens. Oh my God. He had this like no fucks given attitude. So I was like, all right, thanks. I hung up, filled it out, and now it's in the underwriting process. It has a little tracker thing that I can log into to see what the status is. So I asked him what the next step is before I hung up on him. I said, so if they reject it, then do I just call back in again? And he said, well, whatever happens with it, they should tell you what the next step is. I was like, okay. So anyway, I'm waiting to hear what happens with that. So most likely I'm not going to be able to do this loan through my bank. They may make an exception for me. You know, I put in the comments that this was a new business. I quit my old job for the, sole purpose of starting this business. So maybe they'll loan me the money. I don't know. Like my credit, my personal credit is immaculate. Usually whenever I try to do any loans with my bank, they bend over backwards to get me to take as much money as I want. Because I have really great credit, and I usually run a pretty high average balance on my checking account. I have a lot of options for getting this truck. If RVest does not finance me, that doesn't mean shit. I can buy a truck outright. Like, financing is not going to hold me back from this. It's not even a speed bump. I would prefer to do financing through my bank, but I will be able to do whatever the hell I want to get this truck and to become a lease op. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing on that, but that's what's going on with the whole owner-operator thing, and I am just pissed off right now over the all this drama, all this stupid shit. And it really kind of pisses me off that they gave me a load that I can't deliver on time. And the way that they're supposed to do pre-plans is I'm supposed to have to accept it, say whether or not I can deliver this on time. I can't deliver this on time. I'm going to be like 12 hours late for this delivery, or later. I don't know exactly how late that I'm going to be, but just off the top of my head, I want to be like 12 hours late on this delivery. This is going to be like straw that breaks the camel's back type shit with me on this. If I get there and the receiver rejects the load, or there's some drama that happens on the delivery because I'm late, then and I end up having to sit with this load for a couple of days or do some crap with it, like if there's some drama that ensues from this and my APUs goes out, like I am seriously gonna like call lease and tell them, move me over right now. I'm not driving another day with company. I'm done with company. I'm just gonna tell the company to just give me to my house, and I'm gonna tell lease that if you guys aren't gonna let me lease, then I'm just gonna go to another company. Because I'm like that sick and tired of this shit. That APU situation, I cannot believe that they would just tell me to keep fucking rolling. I know that they need to move this load, but that shows that they don't give a fuck about me. Like, they don't care at all about me. And I'm gonna shut this fucking truck down in Atlanta is what's gonna happen. And this load's gonna be even later than it is right now. It just pisses me off. Man, I'm mad right now. At least I'm on a decent highway. This Highway 80 that I'm on is a 4-lane divided highway, and I think I've only gone through 1 or 2 lights. It's been 65. That was a brief construction that was like 45 mile an hour speed limit, but it's been 65 mile an hour speed limit almost the whole time on this, so it's been pretty nice. I don't know, that's about it for the video. I think that's enough of me ranting and raving. So thanks for watching. I hope you're having a better day than me, and I hope my APU makes it until I eventually get routed to a terminal. Oh, I'm so mad. I was like right next to a terminal. I don't know how far away Pine Hill, Alabama is from Memphis, Tennessee, but it's not very far. And they're having me go to Houston, Texas. West Memphis, Arkansas is still going to be the nearest terminal, but it's going to be like 2 driving shifts away in Houston. I don't think I could go from Houston to West Memphis in a single day or a single drive shift. I think it's more than 600 miles. I could be wrong on that. But this is putting me in a position where not only am I not going to be home for my home time, I could potentially run out of hours on the road and have to do a 34 to fucking truck stop. And on top of that, I'm going to have to stay in this truck for like 3 or 4 days without an APU. I don't know what I'm going to do at the Atlanta terminal. We'll see how much drive time I have left when I get there. You know what? I think I'm just going to punt this thing over there. You know what? I might just like drop this trailer at the terminal, go over to a truck stop and get a shower, and then just take a 10, maybe like a 15. I'll take as much fucking time off as I fucking want. I'm so mad right now, and like I don't give a shit about making money between now and lease. I'm done with this company driving bullshit. I'm so fucking mad. They're just telling me to go fuck myself because they need this load moved. They need this problem dumped onto somebody, and I'm that somebody. I am so fucking mad right now. I'm gonna run that APU until it burns to the ground, and they can pay 10 grand to replace it. And yeah, because it's gonna burn out. whatever coolant that is in it, it's gonna burn out. I don't know what that green liquid is, but yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm just gonna hang out at the Atlanta terminal for the night, and I'll casually drive this load to Houston. Maybe stop and eat at some nice places along the way, get some good barbecue and shit like that. And if they message me asking me when am I going to be there, I'm just going to reply with whenever the fuck I am, because that's the way they're talking to me right now. It's telling me to basically go fuck myself. They can't tell me to go fuck myself. They'll get fired if they do something like that. They have to be professional. But that's basically what they're saying to me, is to go fuck myself on this kind of shit right here. I am so mad. Hopefully by the time I get to Atlanta, I'm in a better mood, because I've got like 4 or 5 hours till I get there. I can't remember exactly. It's like I'm getting paid 270 or 280 miles, which means it's probably like 500 miles to get there, because they pay really, really short miles here at USA Truck. It's not like 10% off on miles. It's like 20% off on miles. I had what was my worst one that I've had so far? It was a 635 mile trip. Those were actual miles, and I was paid $534. It was like 101 miles that I was not paid. That's been my worst one so far. Oh, besides them just magically deleting off miles after the fact, like after I've turned in a load, they'll just delete miles off of it. I had 90 something miles deleted off of a load. All my empty miles, I had 0 empty miles on a load that I actually did 90 something miles on. And that got me reviewing all of my loads that week, and I found like 2 or 3 loads that had massive mileage issues like that, where they had altered the miles after I accepted the load. When I accepted the load, it had, you know, the correct miles on it, and then somehow they had changed the empty and loaded miles, and they'd gone to much shorter miles. And I think my old driver manager was manually editing the miles to shorten pay. I should probably start reviewing my miles again, see if that's still happening. But I'm fairly certain it was just my old driver manager shorting me miles. When I caught him doing it, I was mad. And they said that it was just a glitch. It was just a bug that they were aware of. And nobody manually did it or anything. It was just a glitch. They just blamed it on a glitch. Well, that was 100 miles in 1 week, at least, just on that one single load. I think there was a lot more miles I was missing that week, but just on that one load. How many drivers does USA Truck have? Like 1,800? 100 miles a week from every driver, 1,800 times 100. So you add 2 zeros to 1,800. Was that $180,000 a week that they're fucking their drivers on because of a glitch? They don't seem too concerned to get that fixed as soon as possible, since it's a known issue, and that's their scapegoat if they ever get caught doing it. It's just a glitch. So anyway, that's enough ranting for this video. I've already said I was going to end it once. Thanks for watching. Sorry about all the ranting and raving. I'm really hoping that the videos get more positive once I become a lease driver. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.